club has this week appointed a new head of recruitment. How closely are you going to be working with the head of recruitment, and what is the profile of the players that you will be looking for to bring to Sheffield Wednesday?
Yeah, for sure. Hello. At first, for sure, I was involved in the process as well. Yeah, I think that was the whole process was a good communication between me and the club as well. I met Kevin twice, and then we had a good relationship. We had a good feeling for each other. We spoke about what is the process in the next weeks, what I demand, and what is important for us as a club, and also for me as well. He was at the game against Leicester in the stadium. I think that was also important to get a feeling what I'm trying to do on the pitch, which kind of football I want to play. I think this is always important that we have this relationship, and we are on one page to understand each other, what we need. And yeah, for the profile, I think we have also a clear strategy, a clear plan, what we want to do. Everybody knows the general market, it's not easy, but we have a clear way. We know on which position we want to do something. Now it's about to check all the opportunities, what we can do. It's always about find the players. Then we need the players. They say yes to Wednesday. Then we need, if it's a loan player, for example, or something like this, then you need also the agreement with the club, and then you need also all the terms to do the transfer fix. And all the parts we will prepare now. It's important that we have our squad as well. I have a feeling now after 7 weeks what we need, what is where we are good, where we can improve, and then we will compare this with a shadow squad. It means to have each position minimum 3 players, and then it's about who is available immediately, who helps immediately. That's also important, and then I think this is the way what we have to do. And with Kevin, we have experienced guys now here. I think it's the next good sign from the club as well. When you look to his CV, then you see his experience. He knows the market. That was also important, a big topic when I have the conversation with the club, that we have one guy who knows the market immediately, who have all the contacts to the agents here. For me it's a good match for all sides, and I'm looking forward to work with him, and I'm sure that we will make a good window.
You were quoted yesterday when talking about Kevin that one of the things you were really keen to do was to create an identity for Sheffield Wednesday. How important is it to know what the identity is, have clarity on what you're trying to achieve, and to know who is or isn't a Sheffield Wednesday player while you're the manager?
I think it makes much easier if you have an identity and you have a clear profile for each position, what you want. Then it's easier to find the right players. Otherwise you are just looking for all the players, and then it's not easy to find this player what you need. And that was the first in the first meeting, it was immediately our first big question. We spoke about the squad. We spoke about in which position we can do something, in which position we are very good and have a lot of strength. And then it's about to find the right piece for the squad as well. It's also about not just about the quality from the player. You need also a player who has the mentality and the willingness to be a part of this club. This is always important now. When I look to my group here, to my players here, we have a fantastic mentality. Everybody is ready to make this fight what we need. And this is also for me a big topic. On the one hand you have to look for the quality, what we can bring in. On the other side you have also to look that it's a good human, a good player who understands the situation, and it's ready for this.
One more question on the transfer situation. There was a report over the weekend, Danny, in a national newspaper that the club might try to sign one key player in January, and the amount of money being talked about was as much as £30,000 a week for this player. Is this the type of signing that you would consider, or will you take a slightly different approach to January?
I think at first it's always about to look what we can get on the transfer market, and then it means also which type we need, which profile we need. And I think it's not the first question about the money or the salary. At first we have to look, okay, is this the right player for us? Why is the right player for us? And if we say then yes, then we have to look to the terms. Yeah, and I think this is our way. Sometimes you need a new key player on one's position, and it costs money. But you know, I'm always looking also for young players to improve them. But now we have to find a good balance between who can help us immediately to give them an impact, and maybe who is the guy to improve in the next weeks as well with the team, and then to be ready for the future. Yeah, and I think this is now what we have to do in the January, to do all the question to answer, find answer, and yeah, I think everybody knows what I demand, what I expect in January. That's important. I have a clear a list, what I want to have, what I want to do on the market, and yeah, this was now a process. This is not an idea from just one day. It was a process in the last 6-7 weeks, together with my coaches as well. Yeah, we sit together. We have always a meeting during the week, one times in every week, to prepare this, to check also. And then you see some players, they maybe were at first on the list, and now you see they make the right steps in the right direction, and then it's to support them and to keep them. And maybe other players, they are a little bit far away from the squad at the moment. Yeah, then we have to speak honest with them, and then we have to look what we can do for both sides. Yeah, this is always important for me, that I'm always see also the human behind the player. It's just what is a player from us, but sometimes it's also to understand what happens in the player, and what is his mind and what is his thoughts, and then we make a good decision for January.
We had a very interesting conversation with Akin Femewo this morning, where he spoke very positively about how much information he gets going into a game, and that he feels it helps him be incredibly prepared for every opponent. I wondered, how much information do you provide individual players week to week to prepare them to play against the different opponents, and let them know what they need to do within your system to have success?
Yeah, the basic is always that we have a good meeting about the opponent with the whole team. Then I speak about what we have to do. Yeah, what are the strengths from the opponent? What is our solutions against them? What is the match plan? Sometimes we have 2 match plans for each half to come in the game, and then my players have to know what we have to do. But I give them also a little bit a view in the future. What could happen in the half break? How could be the game be? But then from my experience, you have players, they want to need more information about the opponent players, and then you have players, for them it doesn't matter, because they are looking for the whole picture in the game, and this is a little bit individual. And then we have a good analyst, they will help our players to get them information. If they need the information, they can come always to the coaches or to the analysts, and then they prepare an individual meeting from the opponents. But yeah, it's not for me a have to, because this is a little bit each player is different, and you can't tell them you have to do this now. Some players, they need just the big picture, and other players, they need more information in the details. But we always help them and give them a good advice. And then for me it's always the big topic to improve our style of football, our game plan, to be strong in this. And if you do this, then I'm convinced about that we are on the good way.
Fans have been very impressed with Will Vaulks recently. What has he shown you since coming into the midfield? What does he bring to the team on the pitch? And also, what does he add with his character in the dressing room as well?
Yeah, he is an experienced player in this league. He had a lot of games, a lot of appearances in this league. He is a strong character. He has a clear opinion. And for me, it was good to see in the last weeks how he improved. Yeah, he was also not immediately in the starting 11. Now step by step, but he give us this mentality in the center at the moment, winning duels, fight for each ball, win the second balls, and I think this is also good at the moment. We have a good balance between players that are thinking offensive more, and we have players that are also take the responsibility for the defense. And Will for sure, he is a strong guy in front of our back four at the moment, or back five. It doesn't matter, and it helps us to come in the game. And I'm happy with his improvement in the last weeks as well. And this is what we need. Players they know what we have to do, and Will at the moment I'm very happy with his performance.
It was interesting listening to your post-match interview after the Blackburn game, because you mentioned XG. Do you have a target for what is your ideal XG for a game? And in your career in the different places that you've worked, what would you say are the biggest contributors in increasing XG without necessarily just going out and bringing in quality players or just being really attack-minded and gung-ho on the pitch?
Yeah, for me the biggest goal is always to have a good difference. Yeah, when you look to XG from the opponent into our XG, if you have a plus, then it's always good. But we have this big topic in the past about scoring, and then it's always to have a good feeling what is the XG at the moment. If the XG is not high and we didn't score, then you have a little bit a solution. Then okay, we are not create too many chances. For example, in the past I played with Munich against Paris in the Champions League. I think it was a quarter-final, and we had the XG over 4, and PSG had just the XG from 1, but we lost 2-3. This is not always what you can say, okay, if you have a high XG you will win, but if you have an average, a high XG, then I'm convinced then it's a good way, and then you will win. And in the last 2 games you saw a little bit our direction. Before the games I always spoke about our XG it's good, but we didn't win the game. Now you see the outcome, it's much better, and I think this is for me sometimes just a little bit a count that you can see, okay, we are in the right direction. I know football is football. Sometimes you can't explain some data, but it's helpful.
Finally, Bailey Cadamartri's obviously had a big impact. Fans are very much enjoying watching him play for Sheffield Wednesday. How important is it to get him tied down to a longer term deal so that he can be a part of Sheffield Wednesday's future?
Yeah, for sure. I spoke after the game against Blackburn that I like him. I like his process now, and I like to have young players with this attitude, with this mentality here in the club. I spoke about he will be the future for the club as well. And you know me, we are in a good process now. For me, it's very important to keep young players here with this potential. And if you have any news, then you will get this news immediately. But you can trust me that I'm try everything to have a quick solution with him as well.
Thanks for your time, Danny. The very best of luck this week.
Thank you so much.
Afternoon, Danny. How are you doing?
Hey, thank you. I'm good.
Good stuff. Just a quick update on Dominic Iorfa. He limped off the other day in the game. Have you got any sort of long-term concerns about Dom's fitness?
Yeah, but Doma, we have to look. It looks not so good. We have to look in the next days again for some scans, and then we will see what we can do. When he is available. But at the moment, it's difficult to say, man. Yeah.
Okay, but so he won't be featuring this weekend, though. That's for sure.
I think it will be hard.
No problem. And then with Michael Smith as well, I know that you say that that's one that you're watching sort of with each day that passes by. How's Smudgy getting on?
Yeah, Michael Smith looks well. He trained the whole week with the team. Paul Valenti as well. He's also back. I think we have a lot of players now back again. It's a good sign. And then we will see on Saturday who is available. Finally, yeah, it's just from the training to a game. It's then always a big jump. We try this to make this gap very close, and it's the reason why we have to look on Saturday.
Excellent. Brilliant. Barry Bannon said recently that you're the best manager that he's ever worked with in his career. How does that make you feel? Coming from a player as experienced as Barry is.
Yeah, the sound is fantastic. I try my best, honestly, but as a manager, you can prepare everything, but it's also to have a team who is following me. And at the moment, the guys try everything. They give everything on the pitch. They try everything to do the right things, and then it's always also a link between the players and the manager. Yeah. I think, and at the moment we have this relationship. We have this link to each other. I think we have a good communication. My team knows what I demand from them, but also the outcome from my team at the moment on the pitch. It's fantastic to see how hard they work, and it's always the reason why I protect them. Yeah, if we do the right things, and sometimes it's not enough, then it's not about to say, yeah, my players are not good enough. Then I protect them, because then I see they will do everything to be successful, and this is what I like. And yeah, at the moment it's fantastic.
But to hear Barry say that, I mean, obviously when you go to a new club, you want the players to buy into what you're doing. When you hear someone like, Barry's spoken very highly of you, Atkins done the same, there's been a lot of players who've sort of been positive about the work that you've done. Is it quite validating for you to know that so early into your time at Sheffield Wednesday that so many players are on board with what you're doing?
Yeah, for sure. When you arrived in a club, a little bit the team is always a little bit a black box, yeah, because you look videos, but just from the video you didn't know the character, you didn't know how can they train your style of football, how can they invest, not the relationship between the players in the dressing room, how's the atmosphere, all the things you have to get immediately some informations to get an impression. Yeah, and then for me it's important that, and it was important when I prepare my first station as a manager, that I'm very clear what I want to have, what I demand from my players. I have a clear philosophy book for myself about how I want to make, or how I want to play in all four phases, how I want to train with the players, and what is for me important in case of leadership. This is all the things, and then it's about, okay, it's not to come here and show everything what I did in the past. Then it's about find the right pieces for the squad. What is now important, what we have to do now, and I think we had a good start immediately. It was immediately open, the players open mindset, that was important as well. And now we are on a good way, but it's a long way. It's not a sprint, it's more a marathon, and this is what we have to do, and this is also what was my message for the players in the first meeting this week. The 4 points were great, but we have to work hard to come closer to our goal.
Yeah, this month is a bit of a sprint. You've got 6 games coming up, I think, before the end of December. 4 of them are away from home. For somebody in your position, how difficult is it to manage a month like this, with regards to like recovery and fitness and things like that?
For sure. At first, I have a little bit the feeling I have just away games. For me, I love more to have home games with our massive fans in the back. But at the moment, since I'm arrived, I have the feeling just away games. But it doesn't matter. We have to do this. I think this is also a process for me, and it was a process in the last weeks. How we can manage during the game to have not, in some games we dropped a little bit down at the end of the game, and then we conceded some goals. And in the last games, I think we showed also that we can keep our performance high. When you look back, we scored in in the added time against Leicester. Yeah, the equalizer. We scored in the last 15 minutes against Blackburn. I think this is also important experience from my side in the last weeks to handle my players, and I think in the next week it's about have a group from some players. They will play a lot of games, a little bit the basic, the fundament, but to have on some position we have to change a little bit job sharing. Maybe one guy will start, but you see, for example, as well, Marvin. Yeah, he comes in and then he was the guy. He was fresh, and then he scored. I think this is the way what we have to do in the next week to have a high intensity in our game to protect a little bit our players as well. Yeah, not too many injuries, especially in this time when we played so many times now, and all the things. Yeah, I think it was a good experience as well for me, and yeah, this is now what we have to do. And then take points for sure.
Yeah, quite a lot of English weeks coming up.
Yeah.
What to ask about Kevin, just briefly, I know Rob covered it quite a lot, but he's not got that much time between now and when the January transfer window opens. Do you expect a busy January? Like, by the time January finishes, do you think that your squad will look very different to what it looks like now, or do you think it will be little tweaks that you make rather?
Yeah, I think we will prepare this. We prepared this in the last weeks as well. And now we have Kevin. He will support us. I think this is also important that it's not possible to do this as a one-man show, and that was also very important for us that we speak honest to each other. We know the general market, it's not easy, but it's then about a teamwork. Yeah, we need everybody on the same direction. Yeah, and then it's step by step. Yeah, for sure. If I have a wish, then I wish me, okay, on the 2nd of January or 1st of January, all deals are done. But this is not, it's not Disneyland. Yeah, you know, it's more about, okay, what happens, what we can do. We have to prepare it. It's about to have a lot of talks with agents, with clubs. But I'm convinced about that we have a good plan, what we can do. And how is our process? I think I have also on my list 3 steps. Yeah, 1 step we have to do immediately to try this, and then we have a 2nd and a 3rd step, and this is what we have to do in the next 6-7 weeks to be very happy at the end of the window.
Brilliant. I want to ask about young left back Sam Reid. He's been given the captaincy in the under-21s with Sean Facera out injured. Sam's impressed in quite a few games at under-21 level. I just wondered what your thoughts were on him and whether he was a player that you thought could potentially take the step up at some point.
Yeah, we had a training together. Yeah, in the last week we had not so much training. This is for me now important. We did this the same with Bailey. Yeah, I took him to the training at first, then over some weeks I got a feeling for the player, and then I saw, okay, now he is ready to give him some minutes as a sub, and then the next step was in the starting 11, and I think this is always a good process. We have this eye on the young players. They know also what I demand from them. Yeah, I spoke in front of the players as well in the national break, and this is always, I have always an eye on the young players, especially also with Neil. I have the good link to the under-21. And this is then still a process, and then maybe the time is right, and then I bring the next young player to the first team.
Excellent. Just lastly, you said before that you're quite superstitious when it comes to games. You've changed trainers and things like that. Does that mean that you'll be wearing exactly the same that you wore at Blackburn for every game now until Wednesday of losing it?
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, I did nearly the same from Leicester to Blackburn. Yeah, nearly the same, not the same, but nearly the same. Now it's a away game. I have to do maybe different because until now we didn't take points away. I have to find a new superstition, I try my best to help my team as well in this part.
Brilliant. Well, fingers crossed you find the right outfit then.
Thank you so much. Thank you. See you.
Danny, hi, how you doing?
Hey, Alex. Thank you so much.
on that away form, like you say, not done so great on the road just yet. I was interested in how your approach and the principles that you've spoken about, how much are they tweaked for a home game and an away game?
No, for me, there's no difference between home and away. And this is a little bit, I think this is a little bit the pity when you look back to our away games. We had some good away games, but the outcome, the result was not what we deserved. And now it's about make the next step, also away. But especially also in our situation, it's important that we have our home games, to take the points there. And this is at the moment okay, not perfect, because we had one game without points, but this is the basic. And then it's now about also take points away. We will try it on Saturday again. And I'm very positive about this, because when I saw this week my team, they are on fire. They are ready for this, and hopefully we can see this on Saturday.
Good stuff. Excellent to hear. You've done your analysis. What do you make of Stoke and the challenge that they pose?
Yeah, Stoke is a very organized team. Very well. They know what they can do, how they can do it. They have a good structure against the ball with a lot of high pressing situation. From the data, I think it's the best team at home in the pressing. It's good to see. It's about to find the solution, and it's also about us to do the right things what we have to do in this game. We will prepare this as well, and then it's about come good in the game, have a good game management, and take points.
I want to ask about Bambo. I think maybe aside from Barry, in terms of outfield players, no one's played more since you came to the club. What are his attributes and maybe his personality and things like that? What makes him such an important player for you?
At first he is very positive. This is important. He is always trying his best. He gives his heart on the pitch. When I see him on the training, for example, when we lost against Birmingham, he was the guy on the next day. He was immediately there and want to train and want to make it better. It shows a lot. He's very open-minded for all the tactical things. He's always asking what he can do, and he's also helpful as a translator sometimes for some players to be a link. It's perfect. He's very clear in his mind. He wants to be the best on the pitch. He wants to do everything, and I think he showed that he believes in this club and in our group, in our way now.
Good stuff. Just on you picking up something that you were talking to Joe about there with Paul Valentin. I'm not sure we were aware he was injured. What was the issue there, and is he back fighting fit now? Yeah,
he had a little bit injury on the muscle. Now he's back. He is fit. He can play. It's important that he's back. I have one option more on this position. I'm very happy with this. He trained hard to come back as soon as possible, and this week he did all the training session, and it's a good sign for me, especially when you look to the schedule for a lot of games in the next weeks, and then it's good to have a next player available.
Yeah, good stuff. Kieran Brennan's gone out on loan. I noticed it was short term. How do you see his future? We've discussed it a couple of times that he's a little bit older than the other lads in the under-21s. Is January maybe an opportunity for him to go and spread his wings and find another club? Or?
Yeah, I think in this case sometimes is you have to look what is the best for the player as well, what is the best step for him as well, and then it was a club decision, and to speak also with the player. And if everybody is convinced about this way, then we have to do this. And in this case, it was we were convinced about the situation. And sometimes you need games and experience in some other clubs and some other teams, and then sometimes it's very helpful to come better back. And I think this is good. It's the best way what we can do, and then we will see what happens in the future.
Good stuff. Lastly from me, touching again, I'm afraid, on the January transfer window. You've spoken about wanting to bring some players in. The squad is full. There's a lot of footballers at Sheffield Wednesday, and clearly players will need to be moved out as well. Is that process underway, and have you started to formulate in your mind the players that might be worth sort of moving on?
Yeah, at first you see we have 7 games to go, and in these games all things could be happened. This is on the one hand you have to prepare my team and the whole squad to be ready for this situation. This is important. Yeah, and on the other hand, yeah, for sure you have to start with some not easy talks about the future, but I have a clear mindset. I will be always very honest with them. If I see something in them potential, then I let them know. If I have the feeling, it could be difficult for them in the second leg, yeah, then it's also my job to tell them. And then it's about to look to the situation, what could be happened. Maybe you have a player who wants to play more, then we have to sit together and we have to find a solution. It could be that there is a player and I'm thinking he is a good player, but maybe not the right player for my squad or for my style of football. Then it's also about to talk with him and give him this advantage that could be hard for the second leg when he will stay here. Yeah, and these are all talks I start. I started in the past now, and yeah, I will do this in the next weeks as well. But always I will come back. We have 7 games to go until January, and this is very important that everybody is ready to play and to help us. Yeah, and then I can't say you are out. Maybe the next week he is in because we need him. And this is now a little bit the balance what I have to do. But I have the feeling the players understand. And everybody give me also a good feedback because they like our way to play football. I think this is important, and then we will see on January what we can do and what is the best for the club and also for the players as well.
Awesome. Good luck with it. Good luck on Saturday as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. See you.